Zealous people know that they are sent forth on a mission. Now, let me try to summarize this. I think from the words of the theologian Hans Urs von Balthasar, a Catholic theologian, he said, when you experience beauty, you are drawn in to that experience. And that phenomenon sends you out. That's complete. That's a complete description of what I have been talking about just now. Becoming zealous means that you have a deep experience of beauty, and that this beauty draws you into its wider perspective. And then the third is that it sends you out to serve more people, to find more people, to bring people to that very beautiful source. Peace be with you. Hey guys, how are you all doing? My name is Christian Remorosa Ramos, and I welcome you to this podcast entitled Come At Me Catholic, where we're going to talk about culture, the trends happening in culture, philosophy, sociology, theology, engage them critically, and understand them in the light of the Catholic gospel. So, today we're going to talk about, again, of course, an interesting topic, and it's called Understanding Zealous People. So, what is a zealous person? Go to the marketplace, go outside your house, and maybe you'll find people, talking about religion, being zealous about religion, making a debate about religion. And these people are actually zealous because they are preachers of their own belief. Maybe it's not a religious person, maybe it's a political person. And a political person could be as zealous as a religious person, okay? So, we're going to talk about them. Specifically, we're going to understand why they are like that in the first place, right? So, first thing we have to understand about them is that zealous people have a deep sense of encounter. They have encountered something really great. They found something that is about to change their whole lives. And it's not only that their lives are in account of that change, but in account of that change also is changing the whole social order about the whole world. And again, it all starts from that experience of encountering something really deep. I don't know what this is, but different people have different backstories. Have you heard of, for example, drug addicts suddenly change and they suddenly tell you about what happened in their lives, the things they found out at rehab, and the things that they want to do right now. Suddenly they change their whole lives from becoming a lazy person into a person that has set for themselves really, really big goals. Now, these people underwent a transformation not just by themselves, but because they have witnessed something. They have understood something from encountering a certain phenomenon. I don't know what that phenomenon is. I don't know what that experience could be, but every zealous person has that life-changing experience. So, the first principle that we understand about them is that zealous people have this sense of deep sense of encountering something life-changing. Now, the second thing we understand about zealous people is that these people have a larger view of the world. What do I mean? It means that they have a bigger context for reality that maybe not the average person knows. And these people preach that worldview, because that worldview includes not only changing themselves but also changing the entirety of how the society is structured. For example, we have very big followers of Marxist communism. And these communists and a lot of my generation, young people also believe in that they have to undergo a big revolution where we're supposed to connect with other people and tell other people the magnitude of our version of reality. And now they educate people with how big that is. They preach their worldview. So, zealous people naturally have a larger worldview. The third thing we understand about zealous people is that they have a deep sense of urgency in life. So they could not have their times wasted by just, idle talk, just idle conversations. No, they're always on a mission. They have this sense that they are sent forth towards something. That they're supposed to do something that means engaging it with their whole lives. And part of that is giving up their time for it. So they have that urgency. It's in their subconscious that for the rest of the day, every moment of the day could be used as an opportunity. Now, these people are sold in to their stories, to their grand narratives. Because if they are not sold into their grand narratives, to their version of the world, they could not convert other people to the way they think. And before they have this sense of urgency, they themselves have to be formed first. Now, relating zealous people to the Catholic Church. The premise of Catholic doctrine, of canon law, for example, the law of the Catholic Church, is the salvation of souls. And that's why Catholics are supposed to become zealous. It's because our whole calling is to become sent forth to preach the gospel. Sent forth to make disciples of all nations, which comes from the word of Christ himself. In fact, after the Mass, what does the priest say? The priest says, the Mass has been ended, go in peace, serving the Lord with your life. And of course, we respond, thanks be to God. Right? So, the Mass doesn't end with just saying, alright, go to Mass next week, because the Mass is for your private consumption. No. Zealous people have a worldview that is always for a public and a wider consumption. Zealous people know that they are sent forth on a mission. Now, let me try to summarize this. I think from the words of the theologian Hans Urs von Balthasar, a Catholic theologian. He said, when you experience beauty, you are drawn in to that experience. And that phenomenon sends you out. That's complete. That's a complete description of what I have been talking about just now. Becoming zealous means that you have a deep experience of beauty, and that this beauty draws you into its wider perspective. And then the third is that it sends you out to serve more people, to find more people, to bring people to that very beautiful source. That's it. That's what it means to become zealous. And we could not as Catholics take away the other things. As Catholics, as people called forth for a missionary purpose in life, we are called to have a deep experience of Jesus. A deep personal relationship with Jesus. The Jesuit General, Father Arturo Sosa, from the Society of Jesus, of course, he was asked what makes a great Jesuit. And the Jesuit Society. The Jesuit Society is a large congregation. In fact, it's the largest Catholic congregation universally. And he was asked that question, and Father Arturo said, you need to have a personal relationship with Christ. That's it. That's what being zealous means. It means that we have a personal relationship with Christ. Because if we do not have that relationship with Christ, what will we preach? What will we tell other people? And so going back, zealous people have a deep relationship with a certain phenomenon. And for us Catholics, it's a deep relationship with God Himself in the person of Jesus. The second, zealous Catholics have a wide view. And that's why, priests are trained philosophically and theologically. And what are these subjects but subjects to widen our perspective, to learn to think critically about the culture and the world itself. And that's why priests are trained philosophically and theologically. And that's why Catholics are also asked to be trained in the dogmas, in the catechism of the Catholic Church. Again, what do we preach to other people if we do not have that larger worldview? In fact, it's all around the catechism of the Catholic Church. Our worldview as Catholics should be that we were made to love and serve God. Now, that's a big imaginary. That's a big narrative of the world. And it's true actually when the saying is true when they say don't ask God for small things. Because the moment we talk about God, we're already talking about the big things in life. So that's the second one. And the third one is that we are sent. Jesus said in the Gospels, again and again, after he says, come follow me, after he says, I want to be in your house, let breaking the bread, after those things we be with Jesus. What does Jesus do? He commissions us into a mission. He sends us out in order to preach the good news, in order to preach the gospel. So, what are we doing as Catholics if we're not doing that? Because our religion is not just for ourselves. It's supposed to bring us out and bring this fullness into the world. And as Catholics, we know this. When Vatican II happened, now the Church, moved by the Holy Spirit, the Church comes together in that Vatican II and releases those documents, those Vatican II documents, which basically says it's time to bring the fullness into the world. Not the world changing us, but us Christifying the world. Bringing the salvation and the glory of Jesus Christ to the world. That's a big calling for us Catholics. So, these are the characteristics of zealous people. Again, number one, they have a deep personal experience. Number two, they have a large worldview. And number three, they are sent forth to a mission because they feel the urgency of what they are about to do. By the way guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, follow me on Facebook, subscribe on my YouTube channel so that you can actually follow this podcast. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to comment it down below or personally message me so I can understand you and I can answer your inquiry. And as always, God bless you.